everybody. Hopefully you can hear us. I can see me, so that's positive. I'm going to do a quick sound check, and then we're going to get going.
Hello, everybody.
I can hear me.
Hopefully you can hear us. I can
hear somebody.
So that's
Who's talking? Is that you? You got your desktop up.
I haven't been talking.
No, I know, but I'm hearing myself, which means you have your desktop up.
I can hear me.
Oh.
Hopefully you can
Mute
hear
your
us.
volume. Come on, Kevin. No, you're fine. Just mute the volume on the YouTube. You'll be fine. Well, what
10-4,
Kevin's doing.
buddy.
There we go.
Sorry.
Headphones. Sweet. We can hear and see you. This is great. It's actually working for once, guys. The lives are always a little bit
Hold on. Okay, there we go.
The lives are always a little bit of an interesting thing. So, you're all here for one reason, and one reason only, and that is we want to talk about the trailer. It dropped kind of weirdly today. Some intern at Amazon's going to get fired, but Warner's did drop the trailer officially an hour ago on YouTube. So we're okay to show this sucker off. And hopefully I don't get a copyright strike. So yes, and spoilers. I'll tell us about the spoilers in a minute before I get going. Don't worry. So first off, I'm Scott. Hi. And with me is?
Hi, I'm Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. Okay, so Kevin and I both have seen the trailer a couple times, or maybe 50. So this isn't a reaction, but we're going to talk about it. So we're going to play the trailer first, and we're going to talk over it a little bit so we don't get copyright struck. And then we're going to go through, and we're just going to go point by point and kind of just scroll through this sucker and see what we want to talk about. For those who, volume is a bit low. I can fix that. I sure can. Kevin's a bit loud and I'm a bit low. Well, that's not good. Kevin, stop yelling. Don't do it.
Okay, I'll do that.
Don't yell, Kevin. Scott's too quiet. Oh, my goodness. How about now? I got a new mic, like, in the mail. It's going to be delivered today.
Just in time for... Oh, wait.
I know. Jen, am I better now? I'm shouting into my mic. Am I better now?
And hopefully I'm better now, too.
You're sounding fine. There's a 7-second delay.
Ooh, I'm loud.
Well, yeah, but it's 7-second delay. Scott's new volume is good. That's because Scott's yelling into the microphone. Okay. So as I was saying, we're going to go through the trailer and do just a comment reaction. Here's the thing. If you are not done watching the entire series of Babylon 5, literally the first sentence, aside from we were there at the dawn of the third age, the first sentence is a spoiler for season 5. So my newbies, don't watch this. If you have not watched all of season 5, do not watch this trailer. Unfortunately, it's going to tell you some stuff that happens in season 5. That being said, let's just go ahead and get going. So here we go. I think this is all going to work. Pretty sure it's going to work. We're going to find out. I got my desktop up. Everything should be fine. Kevin, you're not going to hear the sound. Well, yes, you will, because you got YouTube going. So okay, you're fine. Here we go.
I was there.
I was there.
At the dawn.
This was what was released yesterday.
This
always
is
have
an
a 5-second
Interstellar
thing.
News Network special report.
I love
2
that we're doing
years
this
after
shit.
winning the Shadows.
In the Shadows.
War, Captain John Sheridan, president of the Interstellar Alliance,
John Sheridan,
is
president of the
leaving
Interstellar
Babylon 5
Alliance,
for what
is leaving
many
Babylon 5 for what
expect
he
to be
thinks is the last time.
time.
Spoilers!
I don't need an interstellar alliance. You're my universe.
There's no Interstellar
I
Alliance.
love you.
Another
yet.
spoiler there.
Yeah, so I was like, newbies
A
can't
friend
watch
of
this.
mine once said,
Yeah.
the future is
This
all
is
around
pretty.
us,
The Shadow
waiting
War.
in moments of transition, to be born in moments of revelation. This is just such a moment. Fire this baby up. Something's
Oopsie.
wrong. What kind of energy does this facility use?
Tachyons.
Oh, crap.
Always the tachyons, always.
Where the hell am I? Yes, I'm stuck in time.
Icarus. We're going to talk about all this in a minute when we go through point by point.
Universes.
David says definitely don't elements of this.
The longer you stay out of your own timeline,
The new
more you
voice
start
actors are
sliding
great.
in parallel worlds.
Yeah,
So how do I
sounds
fix
good.
it?
Although we only
Back
heard
to
Delenn say
Babylon 5.
John, and that's
Yeah,
it.
well, the
But
Zathras voice. Just wait for the Zathras voice.
yeah,
Losing
This
the
is
Shadow
pretty
War
good.
wasn't your fault.
I love
Wait,
Londo
we
just
lost the
chilling on a
war?
balcony with Ivanova. It's
On the
great.
positive side, at least we have a good view of the show, eh, Sheridan? This is Babylon 5. We are under attack.
This
You
is
know what a
World
last
of Hood.
stand is.
This is the
You
flash
just
forward
joined
scene
one.
that we never actually got an
Activate
answer to.
destruct
That's what we're
sequence.
doing here,
Destruct
guys.
sequence. Are you feeling all right? This isn't just one of those I'm having a bad day
which is always
things.
fun.
I am totally in a mood to blow some stuff up.
Nice and timely.
Yeah, leave it.
Everything ends. I'm not afraid. Bring it.
That's not
John?
good.
Stay back!
Don't touch it.
Happening again. I'm
I love the
coming
saucy
unstuck in time.
computer voice. Are you really sure that you want to do that?
Zathras won, but no one listens to Zathras.
That's such a good voice actor for Zathras. I love
Yeah,
it.
it sounded good.
Like someone in need of a friend. Friend.
Aw. Look for it on digital. We're also hearing that there is going to be a Blu-ray and 4K release. I haven't seen that officially yet because I haven't looked at any press releases in the past hour, but not DVD. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully you have a Blu-ray player or you just do digital streaming. But it is available now for pre-order. I think it's on Amazon Prime for $19.99. So we're going to go through this sucker bit by bit. But before then, Kevin, what's your first impressions on the trailer for the animated movie?
Well, I think the animation looks great. It's certainly awesome to see them with a brand new story that we're going to get to actually watch in 2 months. It's so exciting that we're getting new content. And yeah, the voice actor, especially for Zathras, sounds great. I didn't hear anything, in there that sounded troubling. The Jakar didn't sound too bad at all. Obviously I would love to get some more from, maybe they'll release one more trailer, who knows, probably not, but man, I can't wait for this. It looks fantastic, and it's so great to hear Claudia Christian and Bruce Boxleitner and Patricia Tallman and Peter all doing their parts again. This is fantastic.
So Chris in the chat asked, was that Morden? Chris, where is that on the timestamp? I'll go look. For everyone else in the chat, tell us your reactions too. What are you thinking about this new trailer? For me, I'm in the same boat. I already mentioned I'm loving the new voice actors. JMS came out and said that before he even started doing this, he went to all the original surviving cast members and said, hey, if I go out and cast new voices for our friends that we've lost, are you okay with that? And he said that if anyone of the original cast had said no, it was dead. And the original cast said yes. And from what we've heard, and you're right, Dylan, we've only heard a word from, but the person doing Zathras and Jeffrey Sinclair sounds great. The person doing Franklin sounds great. They're really trying to do a great homage to the folks we've lost. Now, we haven't heard Garibaldi yet, but I'm going to guess it's going to be the same in that case too. I also love the animation. I'm not a full CGI fan. I'm more 2D drawn animation. I'm an old guy. So this is a nice mixture, and I love it. Mike couldn't be here because some people work for a living, but he did say he felt the faces were a little flat, and I can see that a little bit, but the animation style is not a bad thing for me. It's not turning me off. Let's see. Geneva says, look spectacular. I can't fracking wait. Angela says, awesome. Chris says, during the Icarus scene. Okay, well, let's go through this point by point now, guys. So this, again, was the first little 5-second beat we got yesterday, and we've got a little shadow ship appearing right in front of B5. That with the gray hair looks to be Jeff Sinclair and Ivanova. This is, I'm not, this is probably, I don't know. That could be Sinclair. I don't know. The Starfuries are back, and they look freaking amazing. Let's see, I'm just going to, okay. We got to talk about this first. We'll get to the Icarus, but we got to talk about this. We got Shadows, who are actually on the front lines fighting, which we've never seen. And that looks to me, Kevin, to be Epsilon 3.
Yeah, it does. It looks like they're invading Epsilon 3 to me too.
I think this is, and
That's
it's
the
kind of
bridge.
mentioned. Yeah, it's kind of mentioned in the trailer. This is if the Shadows won. We're going to see a timeline to where if the Army of Light failed. Let's see here. Oh, good old WB. We already saw this guy. I think the stations never look better. I think it's just beautiful. They did the way they did that. Let's go here. We got a Shadow's head exploding, which is cute. I love that. PG-13, kids. Just so out there. PG-13. We got some blood. Okay, we got good old Sheridan.
Make it slightly saucy language. We'll see. Probably from Ivanova.
Is that supposed to be Lockley? or is that just crew member A?
You know, I don't know. It's I didn't hear her voice, so.
Are you watching, Kevin? Are you watching on the YouTube so you can see what I'm doing here?
I am.
But
I'm a
you're
little
delayed.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
it's
buddy.
kind of tough. But she is on the IMDb that she's in it. So I'm going to assume that the one that you're seeing probably, if you're thinking it is Lockley, it probably is.
Yeah, she's definitely in it. We know that. David, you're saying it doesn't look like to be England until August 14th. It's August 14th for everybody. I had seen somewhere that overseas is actually August 15th.
Right.
But August 14th is the release date. So you're not getting it late in the UK. You're getting it at the same time we are. So we had thought maybe it'd be released closer to San Diego Comic-Con. But based on everything I'm seeing, it's August.
Right.
And that's what the pre-orders are saying, too. When you buy it, it says available August 14th, at least for the United States. Good old White Star. Yay. Let's see here. I'm trying to find some stuff that we want to talk about. So we had already known it was going to be a time travel / multi-universe story. Our assumption was that it had to do something with the time in War Without End when Sheridan is unstuck from time. We were kind of right and kind of wrong, because it's definitely referring back to that, because he already has dealt with tachyons before, and so he's more attuned to it. The same reason why Sinclair got old in War Without End, because he had already had to deal with it once, and the reason why he kept Garibaldi away is because he didn't want Garibaldi to have to deal with the same thing. So Sheridan has to deal with a little bit of time travel again.
But just the same, they're going to be jumping realities too, which will be interesting to see. It seemed like Londo was sitting there sipping a drink with Ivanova, just lamenting how things have gone in the universe, and well, at least we'll have a good seat. It's like, oh man, you son of a gun, but whatever.
Yeah, so we're seeing in the chat, some people are saying the faces look pretty flat, no color in the faces. I think in motion they look pretty good, but we shall see. I have it paused here on the epic Interstellar Saga continues. I just paused there because who the hell thought after the Lost Tales and the past, 15, 16 years that we would ever see that again? The Interstellar Saga continues. We're getting something new. Kevin, you already said that when we started, but I'm just like, my God.
Yeah.
We knew there was potential for a reboot, and I still, I think the reboot's going to happen, especially after all of us buy this freaking DVD and streaming service. But, man, we got something new.
Neil in the chat saying that he's really looking forward to seeing the newbies season 3 big scenes, and that's coming up soon on Gray 17. We're going to be seeing all the good stuff in season 3 real soon.
We got some plans for that episode too, which hopefully work out. We're working on some plans. So here's the Icarus scene we were talking about. Let's see if we got Mr. Morden. I'm going to try to go slowly here. That's a guy with a mustache. That could be a younger version of Mark Twain. Justin. Could be Justin. Now we're on the cornfield. So I don't think that's, if that's who you're referring to, the person who asked in the chat, I don't think that's Morden, but I could see that being Justin.
I don't think we've ever seen him with a mustache.
Not Morden, no. Now we're in the cornfield with his dad. Where's Dope? I can only go a few frames at a time, so it looks like I'm not going to be able to. Yeah, it's not going to let me get to good old David Sheridan, but he's in there somewhere. I love this. I hear you guys in the faces. But look at this. You got a sunset or a sunrise in a cornfield. You got some lens flare going. This is good art. They put some time in this. They did not half-ass this, okay? I thought this was going to be an audio drama, guys. We're getting an animated movie, and it looks good.
Yeah, it does.
It may not be your style, but it looks good. Let's see. Rebecca says, I'm with you, Scott. Never thought we'd see Babylon 5 again. The station looks gorgeous. David says, at least we know which David Sheridan it is. Kevin and I were just talking about that, too, before we went live. We could still see David Part 2, Sheridan's son. We don't know. But you're right. Chances are, based on this trailer, that it's David Sr. we're getting. We'll find out. let's see, Neil, are they that far ahead? I was thinking about the scene in Severed Dreams. No, we record a few weeks in advance, Neil, so we will get the Severed Dreams in our recording time in July. So we're about 3 or 4 weeks from recording Severed Dreams. We just recorded last week Dust to Dust, and this next week we're doing Exogenesis. I'm looking forward to the newbies talking about Exogenesis on Sunday.
Yes, that should be an MST3K-esque experience, I hope.
Another TKO.
Yeah, because I'm just putting it out there. That's my least favorite episode of the series. So, well, it should be fun.
Angela says, how do we know it's not both Davids? We don't, but, we've seen a David now in the trailer. So that's the David we've seen. Let's see here. SMN dog is scorpions. Yeah, pretty much.
Hopefully when we get the voices to go along with the characters for a little bit longer than in a trailer, we'll be able to differentiate them. But FSM says it looks like it's a little tough, and I can't disagree based on a trailer for sure.
Yeah. So we got this old transport shuttle going to Epsilon 3. This is definitely like season 1-esque right here.
Mm.
And we know we're bouncing through time. Let's see what else we can pull up here. Good. Here is definitely World Without End. This is actually the scene from World Without End, where Zathras brings the devices to help them travel. We got the one who was, the one who will be, and we don't have Sheridan in this picture, but you got Marcus Cole right there, which that's the one we know that Marcus will either not have a speaking line or will be dubbed by a different actor. So that's one disappointment, but that's where we are with that. And, of course, we got Ivanova in this scene, too.
Yeah, Marcus isn't on the IMDb, which doesn't necessarily mean he won't have a speaking line, but
the actor did come out and say, actually it was his wife, I think, who's the
right.
of his Facebook page, said he was not asked to come back. So
right, but perhaps they recast it, or perhaps he's just gonna be there and not say anything. Yeah. Who knows?
I mean, JMS has always said that he's not going to shoehorn people in. If there's a place for them, there's a place for him. So for all we know, Marcus is in the background. We don't get much out of him, but we'll see. I would be disappointed too if we don't get the original voice actor, but it's at this point it is what it is. Speaking of not original voice actors, here we have Franklin, who is absolutely future Franklin.
Played by Phil Lamar, so I'm sure it'll be well acted.
Oh yeah, he's an amazing voice actor.
Absolutely,
his credits are just like forever long, and I could have seen it go two ways here. I could have seen them come in and just do, actually 3 ways. I could have seen them come in and do a completely different voice and say we're just not going to try to be what was done before. I could see him try to ape it and just sound bad, or I can see a really good homage. And from what I've heard, I think we got the third one. I think we got people who are really good at their craft, who listened to the original actors that we've lost and said, okay, I will do an approximation without trying to ape it. And so that's what I'm hopeful for.
Me too. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to hear a completely different voice that's not reminiscent of it at all. And I don't want to hear a caricature. I want to hear something that sounds as authentic as they can do. And we'll give them some license to do that the best they can and move on.
I will say the one that sounds the least like the original is Jakar, but we've only heard him say a few words, but that one doesn't sound like Andreas at all. But again, it's a trailer. So let's keep on moving here. Got some more tachyons. This is like a little fun trippy, like he's flying through the universe of time. That's going to be a little fun. Okay, so on this, I think this is going to be just an assumption. I think this is going to be my favorite scene of the whole show. You've got Ivanova and you got Londo sharing drinks on a balcony as the world is coming to an end.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just perfect, right? You can see Sheridan kind of just pop in there from nowhere and say, oh, these guys I know. And they're like, hey, welcome. Good to have you here. Sit down and enjoy the show.
War. We lost the Shadow War. Isn't it fun? Oh.
It's going to be interesting to see this kind of stuff. And I just, having all 3 of these voice actors back, you got Claudia, you got Peter, and you got Bruce. That's just going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
We got some more shadow action. Sheridan's giving his biggest O face he can in the shadow. Yeah, FSM says you can imagine Claudia and Peter having fun together on that. I can see that too. We know they were all together when they recorded at least some of this, because that was when we first knew something was up. And I can say this now because it's out there, but JMS posted the picture to his Patreon, and then Claudia accidentally posted it to her social media as well, that we knew the surviving cast had gotten together back in 2021 to do something. We didn't know it was this at the time, but so they were definitely together, at least for a script reading. Got Sheridan packing some heat.
I just looked at Phil Lamar's IMDb. He has about almost 550 acting credits. I didn't realize it was quite that.
Dude is
It's
prolific.
like, wow. So I'm more than willing to give the guy the benefit of the doubt before we hear very much from him, because my goodness, that's a lot. Plus, I really like him doing Jon Stewart. That's my favorite of his, although he was really good on Futurama, among many other places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, FSM said Claudia leaked a pic, ? Now, she didn't really leak a pic. She just like, hey, I got together with my friends, but no one knew the context. And the context was they got together for a reason. So that's that's the first time we saw that pic in the open air. Yeah, David says JMS has been hinting something forever. He has been. And if you are not a member of JMS's Patreon, you should be. He's been keeping the folks as informed as he can. And so it's if you want to have firsthand knowledge and just be involved in what's going on in the process, I absolutely recommend you join his Patreon. Let's see. Oh, we got B5 blowing up again, as tends to happen with B5. Okay, so this is another scene I'm going to be really excited for. One of the questions we have always had, and we've had assumptions and fan theories and head canon and everything, is what is the flash forward scene that is shown in Babylon Squared and hinted at in World Without End, where we see Garibaldi holding the line as something is breaking into the station. And we've never really, we've assumed it was the shadows or something else, but I think we're going to get the scene. We see right here, we got Sinclair and we got Garibaldi getting ready for a fight on B5. It's in the main corridor here. And then later we see Ivanova on CNC holding a gun to somebody while she's been beat to hell. So I think we're finally going to see the fall of B5 that was hinted at in Babylon Squared. Which
at this point is probably going to be presented as a different reality, which is fine. It's probably part of the fall of Epsilon 3 as well. So that should be an interesting little timeline to see.
So I'm assuming here, Kevin, is the whole assumption throughout the whole series is if the shadows moved quicker, we'd be in trouble. And the old goal was to make the shadows feel like they didn't have to move as quick as they could. So I'm going to guess this timeline, something tips off the shadows and they move quick. And they go after the Great Machine. They go after B5. They go after everything and anybody that's involved. And that's it. And then we get the scene where Londo and Ivanova enjoy a drink as everything goes to hell.
I wonder if it'll have something to do with the Narn, either because of Jakar or because they couldn't watch the fall of Narn. I'm just going to bet that has something to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, sitting back and just watching what happened to the Narn was gut-wrenching, and I could see someone saying, you know what, I can't do this.
We get another, and of course it's not Michael O'Hare, but we get another interaction with Sheridan and Sinclair, which those are always fun. We don't get many of those. The World Without End, there was some great scenes with those two, and we're going to get at least one more here, which I'm looking forward to. Let's see what else we got. See, this is kind of the same thing. Somebody mentioned in the chat earlier the Star Trek animated series. One of the animated series gets pooped on a lot, but one of the things it could do is you didn't have to worry about makeup. You didn't have to worry about having actors be in there. So you could draw stuff that you could never do on TV. We would never in the 1990s see the shadows invade the station and go head to head with some of our characters. We get to see that here. We're going to see the shadows do so much more stuff than we ever had. I mean, they got their little defensive shields up. We got one, looks like it's almost coming out of a portal or maybe a burnt hole in the wall. We're going to get some good stuff here, guys. Slaughterhouse B5 is what Benway says. Yep, pretty much. I have a feeling that by the end of this timeline, everyone we know is dead. And Sheridan just kind of gets warped away just in the nick of time. But we're going to see some death and carnage in this timeline.
One of the other interesting things about that scene with Londo and Ivanova was that she was still in her Earth Force uniform.
Yes, so I think that's it's interesting. I think it definitely is something like we don't get far enough along to have the Army of Light in this universe. The shadows move too quick. We got some. This is the Last Stand stuff again, and I think we're going to get some great one-liners from Garibaldi in here at this point. Of course, Jerry Doyle and his "You want another? You want another?" I'm looking forward to something like that. We got Lita. Pat Tallman's back. I'm liking the hairdo. It's nice. Let's see here. We got another shadow ship. Another planet just being utterly destroyed. This looks to be Epsilon 3 again. Looks like they use a planet cracker on it. And here's Ivana holding the line on CNC. In, as Kevin, you just pointed out, her Earth Force uniform. So this is definitely pre-mid-season 3. And here's Earth getting cracked by the moon.
Oh.
Got Delenn. She's looking great. Don't touch me. Let's see here. What else we got? We got some more destruction. The Star Furies look great. I'm loving that. Let's see here. And he's just stuck in, I guess, the time between times. I don't know. I'm going back to Chrono Trigger playing here. Is this like the the end of time where you go hang out with your friends? I don't know. Good old that has to be Lockley. This is the same one we saw earlier in the Zocalo or in the corridor. So that's going to be Lockley. Which doesn't really look like Lockley too much, but I'm just going to assume it's Lockley. And I know, Kevin, you got a delay, so I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, there it is. I got it. Yeah. It certainly doesn't look like her hair at all.
No, but I mean, you don't have the same odd crewman number 2 show up in both scenes in a trailer with Zaffris and everybody else. So I'm going to put it down now. That's Lockley hair regardless.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's definitely not Ivanova either.
No, because Ivanova has black hair and everything we've seen her in. Let's see here. David, what did I missed it? What did you not have on your bingo card? I'm curious now. I didn't see that when you said it originally. Let's see here. I love the new graphic. It's been updated a bit. It's got the gold and the 3D sheen. I like it. And we got Jakar. I'm actually going to play this part again because I want to hear Jakar's voice again because that's the one I said was sounding the least like the original. So I'm just going to hit play and see what it sounds like again.
Zathras won.
That's Zathras.
But no one listens to Zathras.
You look like someone in need of a friend.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the one I'm questioning the most right now is Jakar, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, David, his bingo card did not have the moon crashing into Earth. Well, that's your free space, my friend. Kevin, what else you want to talk about? Oh, you say that's not Jakar, FSM? That's definitely Jakar.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah. Although, going back to what they're wearing and what timeline they're in, both his eyes are red. So that tells us something as well, too.
Right. Yeah, it looks like he's got a completely different type of uniform or outfit on there. I wonder if he's an even more illustrious leader among the Narn than he was in the Prime timeline. Because that I don't know, that seems very very like leader ceremonial type. Perhaps he's their president.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this one more time because I want to see it again. And while I'm doing that, you all in the chat, tell us what you think. Is there anything we missed that you want us to talk about? Anything you want to highlight? Let us know. I'm going to hit play and we'll watch it one more time. And hopefully I don't get copyright struck.
I was there.
I was there.
At the dawn.
Of the third age.
This is an Interstellar News Network special report. 2 years after winning the Shadow War, Captain John Sheridan, president of the Interstellar Alliance, is leaving Babylon 5 for what many expect to be the last time.
I don't need an interstellar alliance. You're my universe, Dylan. I love you. A friend of mine once said, the future is all around us, waiting in moments of transition to be born.
No Byron. Yeah, no Byron.
This
Good.
is just
I don't know. Maybe he'll pop up.
fire this baby up.
To quote Ryan from Yum Yum, justice for Byron.
Something's wrong. What kind of energy does this facility use?
Tachyons.
Oopsie.
Oh, crap. Where the hell am I?
Yes, I'm stuck in
Yep,
time.
I'm voting that's
moving
Justin. There's Dave.
between timelines, universes, realities.
The longer you stay out of your own timeline, the more you'll start sliding into parallel worlds.
Oh, I
So
didn't
how do
catch they said
fix it?
sliding.
You have to get back
That's
to
a
Babylon
nice little.
5.
I don't know if that's a reference or not, but
Sliders.
God, I love
Using
that
the
show. At least the
Shadow
first
War.
season
Yeah.
I loved.
Wait,
Yeah.
we lost the
It
war?
got a little bit dicey after that.
Positive side. At least we have a
I
good
don't know.
view
The,
of
the
show,
second
eh?
season was fine too.
Yeah,
but
once
by the
main
fourth
characters
season, it was,
started-
yeah.
last stand is.
And they started
You
doing
just
the
joined.
Cro-Magnons or whatever.
Activate the
Cro-Mags.
Yes.
Destruct
Cro-Magnon.
sequence. Are you feeling all right? This isn't just one of those I'm having a bad
There you
day
go. That's
things.
that can be our
I am
next one, Kevin. We'll just
totally
watch
in the mood to
sliders.
blow some stuff up.
I don't think Jessie would ever talk to us again.
There's not many podcasts for sliders, though.
That's, well, yeah. Well, you know.
We can get
Coming
Jerry O'Donnell on
unstuck
there.
in
Or
time.
Zathras won.
no one
No one
listens
listens to Zathras.
You look like someone in need of a
I
friend.
hope we actually get some Lanier in this, and he's not just in the background.
Well, Moomy was involved in the recording. He's
I know.
definitely going to be. You're right, though. I mean, hopefully he doesn't just show up. So, okay, let's see. We got Byron jokes, because why not? Let's see what else we got. I think they're dead. They're all dead. Just like this joke, have to beat the dead horse because it's dead also. I don't know what you mean, Terry, but sure. Great. David says, I have a first one question about Severed Dreams. Go for it, David.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lorian, maybe? Question mark. Let's see.
Is Wayne Alexander still around?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good,
I'm
good.
I think now that I said that, I think so. Well, remember Justin killed off Michael Ironside before he was dead, so.
True.
So I don't know. The scenery and effects are great. Not 100% on the depiction of people. Yeah, that's what I've heard the most. The one complaint I've heard is the art style with the faces. I think when they're moving, it looks better. But again, it's a choice. It's an art style. Some people are going to like it. Some people aren't. I'm just glad it's not 100% CGI.
Right.
I love that it at least looks pencil animated because that's a plus for me.
I just looked it up. Wayne Alexander is still around. He is 80 years old. God love him.
Yeah. Bring back Lorian.
Yeah.
You could always pretend it's a podcast for those miniature burgers. Those are the sliders too. Oh yeah, no, we're not going to be talking about sliders. my colon says no.
Yeah.
Let's see. David says lots of shadows, but no Vorlon in trailer. Hope Kosh is in it. I don't think you can do this without Kosh.
Right. I agree.
I bet you he shows up and it maybe is. It seems like Jakar is going to be a helpful influence here, but I can see Kosh being an influence though too. Watch this only if you finished season 4 already. Nikiyoko, I actually think it's season 5. That first scene in the trailer is right after the second to last episode of B5 when Sheridan leaves the station. So there's a lot in there. The voice performance for Sinclair and Zathras are just about perfect. Did we hear Sinclair in the trailer? Now it's the same voice actor, so he's doing great as Zathras. But I don't think we heard Sinclair, did we?
I don't think so. Not that we are sure that it was him, because there was that other, Earth Force maybe scientist in the white. That's clearly not him. but there was one point where you saw kind of a gray-haired ranger that could very, very possibly be Sinclair, but I don't think he said anything.
So David's Severed Dreams question is, did JMS play the faceless Thunderbolt pilot scene to remember that back in the day? I don't fully quote me on this, David, but I seem to remember JMS saying in a tweet back in the day, or maybe even fairly recently, that was not him. That the only time he was on screen was the last episode where he's turning the lights off. But I may be wrong, but I think that's the case. Because I think somebody had asked that in a tweet and he said no. Cell shading is an old tool by now. It coats 3D rendering with 2D looks. Yeah, I'm don't get me wrong. I know this isn't pencil drawn. This is not 1992. I get it. But it looks like it, and that's what I appreciate. Let's see. Arc Wolf says, kind of reminds me of Tron Legacy Uprising. It's got the same kind of look. I agree.
It does.
Yeah, FSM says, definitely watch season 5 before watching this movie. Yeah. And so what we'll do, guys, by the way, for our newbies is we're going to watch it first. I'm 99% sure we're not going to be able to show it to them now, but we're going to watch it first. And if we feel like we can show it, or at least show it at a certain point in the continuity, we will show it to them. That being said, I haven't confirmed this with all the hosts yet, but my intention is we are going to watch all the movies, and this is one of the movies now. So sooner or later, the newbies will review this. It's just going to take some time. Robert says, darn it, I came in really late. I have to go back and watch the start later. Yep, it's going to be here. And I'm also going to throw this on the audio podcast too, guys. So you'll be able to catch it. Benway says, we are all Kosh. Damn straight. Robert says, how long is the trailer? It's roughly 2 minutes with all of the gobbledygook from Warner Brothers and the start of it. Let's see.
I just looked up Ardwright Chamberlain, and he is definitely still around and still active.
Nice.
So perhaps they got him too. Let's hope.
Let's see. Okay, Rebecca says, we did hear Sinclair. He says something to Sheridan about Last Dance. Oh, that's that scene. Hold on. Please hold.
Okay.
That's where he's handing him the gun, right? Yeah, it's right here. Hold on. Let's see if we hear it.
We are under attack.
Do you know what a last stand is? You just joined one.
Okay.
Activate destruct
You're
sequence.
right. We heard Sinclair.
Destruct sequence.
Okay.
Are you?
Cool. JMS does have extensive experience in animation. Josh, you're completely right. JMS basically made my 80s childhood. He was involved with He-Man. He was the initial, I don't think he was called showrunner, but he made the Bible for She-Ra before he left that show. Obviously, Real Ghostbusters. He was the head writer, or whatever you want to call it, for Real Ghostbusters, at least the first season, which is the best season. And then he came back at the end of the show and, did some stuff to save it. And he also was involved in not an animated show, but Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future, which is also a wonderful 80s show.
David says, for crying out loud, don't let the ladies know John and Delenn are a couple. No, we won't. We're doing our best to keep these newbies away from these spoilers, but it's just got 100 times harder because
Yes.
they could run into this trailer. They can run into spoilers anywhere. So we're doing our best here, but
Yeah.
I'd be a little surprised if we get through, August, and we are able to keep all the spoilers away from these guys. It's going to be increasingly difficult.
Emily joked about the day in our group chat we have. She's like, oh, great, something else I can't Google. But we need all your help, guys. Those listening and watching this, don't spoil the newbies. Don't do it, please. Don't post stuff from the show on our Facebook or Twitter. We will do that, and we will post what we can, and we'll have conversations where we can. But please keep these newbies as spoiler-free as you can. I actually reached out to our friends over at Babylon 5 for the first time and told them today, guys, don't watch this trailer. And they're like, thank you. Good to know. Let's see. For crying out. Okay, David did that. Terry, at 129, you see the same guy running with Garibaldi. Okay, so let's go to 129. There it is. That's Sinclair. Is that what we're talking about? That's absolutely Sinclair and Garibaldi running together. Let's see. PodQuest question from Robert. Where is the sound clip from with Sheridan and a lady talking about the rim just before Beyond the Rim section? Is that from Third Space? You know what? Good question. Let me see if I can answer that for you real quick, because I pulled that from the Down Below Sound Archive.
Rebecca wants to totally internet blackout sequester our newbies until we finish in October of 2024.
I don't think they would approve of that. I'm just going to guess that would not go over well. Just a hunch. Okay, let me see here. So, fun little thing, for those who don't know, there's the Down Below Sound Archive for Babylon 5, which was posted in 1996. It's on the University of Wyoming webpage, and somebody hasn't taken it down yet. So that's where I get all my sound clips from. But let me tell you right now where it came from. It is Sheridan and Lockley, and it's from Objects at Rest. So it's actually from the season 5 episode, Objects at Rest, where Lockley says, "What's beyond that?" and Sheridan says, "The truth." So actually, that conversation literally happens right before what this trailer starts with. Okay, do you guys think that they have recreated all the scenes? I doubt it. I think it's just going to be a little bit here and there. JMS has said that you can watch this without having watched the original show. That being said, we're not going to let our newbies do it. Let's see. Josh says, I was a big fan of Captain Power. I had the jets, Josh. You know, you shot at your screen. Yeah. I've told the newbies, Terry, not to click the trailer. We'll see if they listen to me.
Neil's got a great idea. He wants to do after we're done with season 5, he wants to do a League of Non-Aligned podcast interpreting the prophecies regarding Londo.
I like that idea.
Yeah, me too.
We are definitely, Neil, talking with the Non-Aligned folks about what we're going to do when Mega, when B5 for the first time, when us, when Medusa all catch up and get to the end, which B5 for the first time and us will be the last ones to get there. I think B5 is going to get there in August of 2024, and we'll get there in October of 2024. But we're already starting to talk about what do we do as kind of a wrap up of all of this stuff. Or maybe we'll be talking about the reboot by then. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Kevin, you have anything that you want to say that we haven't talked about yet?
The only thing I can think to say is that I'm very excited for this, and I can't wait for August, because this is going to be. I hope it's nice and robust in time wise, at least 90 minutes. I'm hoping
it's 77 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So it is feature length.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe we'd hit the 90 mark, but I guess not.
Yeah. So you figure with credits and all that, we're probably going to get about 70 minutes of goodness, is what.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
But I will say JMS has said publicly that this may not be a one and done. Warner's is watching this. So I've already done my pre-order. You all should do the same. And if Warner sees that there's an appetite for this, I mean, hell, how many DC animated movies do we get a year? Well, this could be something that continues on. And I think JMS absolutely wants it to continue on. He has ideas. So if we show our support behind this, I know there was some talk about making sure it's trending on Twitter and all that good stuff today. If we show Warner Brothers that we want this, we'll get more. The other thing, too, is I guarantee you, even though JMS has said this is not connected to the reboot at all, and I believe him, I guarantee you Warner's Entertainment is watching this and saying, okay, is there an appetite for new stuff? Because we're not going to put millions of dollars on the line for a 10-episode season of Babylon 5 reboot unless there's an appetite for it and people are going to pay for it. So we need to show them that we support this stuff. And the best part about that is it looks good. We don't have to bullshit it. It looks good. Right. So let's make sure that we're supporting this sucker as we go. So thanks, everybody. We really do appreciate it. And we will be back soon to talk more anime and movie. And then we are obviously still trucking through season 3 with our newbies. So be sure to hit like, subscribe, the notify button. And if you're listening to this audio version, please make sure you leave us a review and subscribe as well. And we will continue to move forward. I know Kevin's extremely excited because we're only a few weeks away from all hell breaking loose in season 3. So it's going to be a good time with the newbies talking about all of that.
Absolutely.
So until next time, I'm Scott, and with me has been
Kevin. Thanks everybody. Have a good one.
You all in the chat rock. You guys are great. Thanks everybody.
Thanks so much for showing.
We'll talk
Appreciate
soon,
it.
and don't spoil